If you're over 60 and you've been told that walking is the best thing you can do for your health, I want you to stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to share might completely change the way you think about exercise, aging, and even your independence. Welcome back to the channel, my friend. And if this is your first time here, I'm truly glad you found us today. This channel is all about helping you stay strong, mobile, pain-free, and confident in your body no matter your age, without pushing, punishing, or risking injury. Now let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever gone for a walk because you knew you should, but halfway through your knees started aching, your lower back tightened up, your hips felt stiff, or you just felt drained instead of energized? Or maybe your doctor told you to walk more, but no one explained what to do if walking hurts, feels unsafe, or simply leaves you exhausted. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. Walking is good, yes, but for many people over 60, it is not always the safest or most effective option, especially if you're dealing with joint pain, balance issues, arthritis, sciatica, or fear of falling. And that's exactly why today I'm going to show you one simple chair exercise that many orthopedic surgeons and physical therapists quietly recommend, because it can actually do more for your legs, circulation, balance, and longevity than walking ever could, especially at this stage of life. And the best part is, you can do it safely from a chair, in your living room, without special equipment, without pressure, and without fear. Now, before you think this sounds too good to be true, let me reassure you, this isn't hype. This isn't a trend. This is based on how the body actually works as we age. You see, after 60, the goal of movement changes. It's no longer about burning calories or pushing through discomfort. It's about preserving muscle, protecting joints, improving blood flow, and maintaining the ability to stand, sit, and move confidently through your day. And here's something that might surprise you. Many surgeons say that the ability to get up from a chair easily is one of the strongest predictors of independence, longevity, and quality of life in older adults. Think about that for a moment. Not how fast you walk, not how far you go, but how well your body can support itself in everyday movements. This one chair exercise targets exactly that. It activates your largest muscle groups, wakes up your nervous system, improves balance, strengthens your legs, and gently challenges your heart, all without pounding your joints like walking on hard pavement often does. And if you've been feeling discouraged because exercise feels harder than it used to, I want you to hear this clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. Your body isn't failing you. It's simply asking for a smarter approach. An approach that works with your body instead of against it. And that's what we're doing here today. Now imagine this for a moment. Instead of forcing yourself to walk outside when the weather isn't great, when your knees feel stiff, or when you're worried about tripping, you sit comfortably in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor, posture tall but relaxed, breathing easy. You begin moving in a way that feels controlled, safe, and surprisingly powerful. You feel warmth returning to your legs. You feel steadier, more connected, more confident. That's not imagination. That's your muscles waking up. That's your circulation improving. That's your body remembering how to move efficiently again. And this is why surgeons often prefer this exercise over walking for certain patients, especially those recovering from surgery, managing chronic pain, or simply wanting to stay strong without unnecessary risk. Walking is repetitive. It can reinforce imbalances. If your gait is off, you repeat that same pattern thousands of times. This chair exercise, on the other hand, allows you to move deliberately, symmetrically, and with full awareness. It teaches your body how to generate strength from the ground up, even while seated. And don't worry, you don't need to understand anatomy or biomechanics to benefit. You just need to show up and move gently and consistently. That's it. And if you're watching this right now thinking, I'm too old, I'm too stiff, I haven't exercised in years, I want you to know something important. This exercise was designed for you, not for athletes, not for influencers. For real people with real bodies, real aches, and real lives. People who want to keep living independently, playing with their grandchildren, walking confidently through the grocery store, and getting out of bed without pain. And here's another powerful truth. When you sit and perform this movement correctly, you're not just strengthening your legs, you're training your brain. You're improving the communication between your muscles and nervous system, which is essential for balance and fall prevention. Surgeons often say that falls are one of the biggest threats to health after 60. not because of age itself, but because of weakened muscles and poor movement patterns. This chair exercise directly addresses that. It teaches your body how to stabilize, how to control movement, and how to respond when balance is challenged, all in a safe environment. And that's why it's often recommended even before walking programs begin, because once your foundation is strong, everything else becomes easier. Walking becomes safer. Standing feels lighter. Stairs feel less intimidating. And daily life stops feeling like a series of obstacles. Now, as we go deeper into this video, I'm going to guide you step by step in plain language, as if I'm right there with you. No rushing, no pressure. You can pause anytime. You can go at your own pace. This is your body and your journey. And I want you to know that even doing this exercise for a few minutes a day can make a real difference. Over time, consistency beats intensity every single time, especially after 60. So if you're ready to learn an exercise that many surgeons quietly approve of, that protects your joints, builds real-world strength, and may actually be better than walking for your body right now, then stay with me. And before we continue, if this kind of content matters to you, if you want to keep aging strong instead of fragile, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps more people just like you find safe, practical guidance they can trust. And it tells me to keep making videos that support your health, your confidence, and your independence. Now take a breath, get comfortable, and let's keep going, because what comes next is where everything starts to change. Now let's slow this down and really talk about what this one chair exercise is doing inside your body. Because once you understand why it works, you'll never look at walking the same way again, and more importantly, you'll stop feeling guilty if walking just isn't right for you anymore. You see, as we age, our bodies don't lose strength evenly. Certain muscles weaken faster, especially the ones responsible for standing up, stabilizing our hips, and protecting our knees and lower back. These are the muscles that keep you upright when you rise from a chair, step off a curb, or catch yourself if you stumble. Walking alone doesn't fully activate these muscles, especially if you shuffle, take shorter steps, or favor one side without realizing it. That's not your fault, by the way. That's just how the body adapts when it's trying to avoid pain or instability. But here's the problem. Every time your body compensates, other muscles shut down a little more. Over time, this leads to weaker legs, poorer balance, and more fear around movement. And fear, more than age, is what shrinks your world. This chair exercise interrupts that cycle in a powerful but gentle way. When you perform it correctly, seated and supported, your brain feels safe enough to allow the right muscles to turn back on. Your thighs engage, your glutes wake up, your core stabilizes, and even your ankles and feet begin to work again, all without the pounding, twisting, or impact that walking can sometimes create. Surgeons love this because it builds capacity before demand. Instead of asking your body to perform a complex movement like walking and hoping it keeps up, you're trained the individual pieces in a controlled environment, so they're ready when you do stand and walk. Think of it like rehearsing before the performance. And this is especially important if you've had knee replacements, hip issues, lower back pain, or even mild balance problems. Walking asks a lot from the body all at once. This chair exercise breaks that load down into something manageable and safe. Now I want you to picture yourself sitting tall in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor, hip width apart, hands resting lightly on your thighs or holding the sides of the chair if that feels more secure. You're not slouching, but you're also not rigid. Your chest is open, your shoulders are relaxed, and you're breathing comfortably. From this position, the movement begins slowly and intentionally. You press your feet gently into the floor as if you're trying to leave a footprint, and you feel your legs engage. That pressure alone already stimulates circulation, already tells your brain these muscles are needed. Then, with control, you slightly lift one foot just an inch or two and place it back down. Then the other. There's no rush, no force, just awareness. This alternating lift may look simple, but inside your body, something powerful is happening. Your hip flexors are working, your thighs are stabilizing, your core is responding to keep you upright. Your nervous system is practicing balance in a safe way, and because you're seated, there's no fear of falling, no tension from bracing, no guarding from pain. This is why surgeons and physical therapists often prescribe seated movements early in recovery. They know that confidence is part of strength, And every time you lift and place your foot with control, you're rebuilding that confidence. Now let's talk about the heart for a moment, because many people assume that if you're not walking, you're not helping your cardiovascular health. That's simply not true. When large muscles contract rhythmically, even while seated, they help pump blood back toward the heart. This improves circulation, oxygen delivery, and energy levels. In fact, for some older adults, seated exercises like this can provide a safer cardiovascular stimulus than walking, especially if walking causes fatigue, dizziness, or joint pain. And here's something else that doesn't get talked about enough. When you walk in pain, your breathing changes. You tend to hold your breath or breathe shallowly. That actually reduces oxygen flow and increases tension. But when you move comfortably from a chair, breathing stays relaxed, which supports your heart, your brain, and your overall sense of well-being. That's why many people report feeling more energized after this chair exercise than after a walk. Not exhausted, not sore, just pleasantly awake, and energy matters. Because when you feel better after movement, instead of worse, you're far more likely to do it again tomorrow. That consistency is what creates lasting change. Not one long walk, but small daily movements that your body actually enjoys. And let me say something important here. This is not about replacing walking forever. Walking is still a wonderful activity for many people. But this is about meeting your body where it is right now. For some, this chair exercise becomes the foundation that makes walking possible again. For others, it becomes a safer alternative on days when walking isn't ideal. And for many, it becomes a daily ritual that supports strength, balance, and confidence in a way walking never did. And if you're thinking this seems too easy to make a difference, I want you to remember this. Muscles don't know age. They respond to demand. Gentle, consistent demand builds strength. And because this exercise targets the exact muscles most responsible for independence. After 60, the benefits show up in real life, not just on paper. Standing up feels easier. Sitting down feels more controlled. Your legs feel more reliable. Your balance improves. And perhaps most importantly, your fear of movement begins to fade. Now, as you continue watching, I want you to stay curious, not critical. You don't need to judge your body. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. Just notice how you feel. Notice the warmth in your legs. Notice the steadiness in your posture. Notice your breath. These small signals are your body saying, yes, this is what I need. And before we move on, let me gently remind you, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Everything we share here is designed to help you age with strength, dignity, and confidence without fear or confusion. You deserve clear guidance that respects your body, and that's exactly what we're building together here. Now stay with me, because in the next part, I'm going to explain how to progress this chair exercise safely, how long to do it, how often, and how to know it's working, even if the changes feel subtle at first. Now let's talk about how this one chair exercise fits into your real life, because the biggest mistake people make with health advice is trying to turn it into something complicated or overwhelming, and that's the fastest way to quit. This exercise works best when it becomes part of your daily rhythm, not a chore you dread or a routine you feel pressured to complete perfectly. The beauty of it is that it meets you exactly where you are, whether you're strong and confident or cautious and unsure. You might start with just a few minutes, maybe while watching the morning news, listening to music, or waiting for your tea to brew. You sit down, place your feet flat, take a breath, and begin those gentle, controlled lifts. 1 foot at a time, staying tall, staying relaxed, letting your body guide you. Some days you may feel steady and energized, and other days you may feel stiff or tired, and that's okay. This exercise adapts to you. On days when walking feels like too much, this keeps your body moving without draining you. On days when you do walk, this helps your legs recover and stay balanced. Over time, something subtle but powerful begins to happen. Your movements become smoother. You stop racing so much. Standing up doesn't feel like a negotiation anymore. You just do it. That's how you know it's working. Not because of soreness or sweat, but because daily life feels easier. And here's where this exercise truly outperforms walking for many people over 60. Walking is often all or nothing. You either go out or you don't. You either finish the walk or you cut it short and feel discouraged. This chair exercise removes that mental barrier. You can do a little or a lot. You can pause and resume it. You can stop without feeling like you failed. That flexibility is incredibly important for long-term consistency. Surgeons and rehabilitation specialists understand this very well. They know that the safest exercise is the one you'll actually do. And this is one you can return to again and again without fear. Now let's talk about progression, because even gentle exercises need progression to continue delivering benefits. The key here is not adding speed or force, but adding control and awareness. Once lifting one foot at a time feels comfortable, you may begin to notice how stable your body feels during the movement. You might challenge yourself by lifting a little slower, holding the foot just off the floor for a second or two before placing it back down. That pause increases muscle engagement and balance training without increasing risk. Or you may add gentle arm movements, raising one arm as the opposite foot lifts, which mimics the natural coordination of walking, but in a seated, controlled way. This crossbody movement wakes up your brain, improves coordination, and enhances balance even further. Again, no rush, no strain, just mindful movement, and if at any point you feel tired, you stop. That's not quitting. That's listening. Listening is strength. Another powerful aspect of this exercise is how it supports joint health. When joints move through safe ranges of motion, fluid circulates, stiffness decreases, and discomfort often eases. Many people notice that after doing this chair exercise regularly, their knees feel less stiff, their hips feel more open, and their ankles feel more responsive. That's not coincidence. It's nourishment. Movement is nutrition for your joints. And because you're not loading them with body weight the way walking does, especially on hard surfaces, you're getting the benefits without the wear and tear. This is especially valuable if you've been told you have arthritis, bad knees, or bone on bone. Those labels can be frightening, but they don't mean you should stop moving. They mean you should move smarter. And this is smart movement. Now let's talk about posture, because posture isn't about sitting up straight like a soldier. It's about alignment and ease. When you sit tall during this exercise, you're gently training the muscles that support your spine. That can reduce back pain, improve breathing, and even support digestion. Many people are surprised to find that after a few weeks of doing this exercise, they feel more upright not just in the chair, but when they stand and walk as well. That's because the body learns patterns. It remembers what alignment feels like, and once it remembers, it starts choosing it naturally. That's powerful, and it's something walking alone often doesn't address. Especially, posture has already adapted to pain or weakness. Now I want to speak directly to those of you who feel discouraged, who feel like your body has let you down, who feel like aging means shrinking your life. I want you to hear this clearly. Your body is not broken. It is adaptable, even now. Especially now. Science and real-world experience both show that muscles can strengthen, balance can improve, and confidence can return well into later decades of life. But the approach matters. Force doesn't work. Fear doesn't work. Patience and consistency do. And that's what this chair exercise offers. It gives you a way back into movement that feels respectful instead of punishing. And when you respect your body, it responds. You may not notice dramatic changes overnight, but one day you'll realize you stood up without pushing off the chair, or you walked across the room without thinking about your balance, or you felt steady stepping into the shower. Those moments matter. Those moments are everything. And I want to remind you, you're not doing this to be perfect. You're doing this to live well, to stay independent, to keep doing the things that make life meaningful to you. And if this video is helping you see exercise differently, if it's giving you hope instead of pressure, please take a moment to like it and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. So many people over 60 are struggling silently, thinking pain and weakness are just part of aging. They don't have to be, and together we can change that narrative. Stay with me, because in the next part, I'm going to talk about common mistakes to avoid, how to make this exercise even safer, and how to combine it with other gentle movements for maximum benefit without overdoing it. As we come toward the end of this conversation together, I want you to pause for a moment and really take in what you've learned today, not just with your mind, but with your body and your heart. Because this isn't just about one chair exercise. It's about changing the way you see yourself, your age, and what's still possible for you moving forward. Too many people over 60 have been told, directly or indirectly, that decline is inevitable, that pain is normal, that weakness is just part of getting older. And after hearing that message enough times, it starts to feel like the truth, even when it isn't. But what you've discovered here today is something far more empowering. You've discovered that smart, gentle, intentional movement can support your strength, your balance, your circulation, and your confidence in ways that feel safe instead of scary. You've learned that you don't have to force yourself to walk through pain or fear just to feel like you're doing the right thing. You've learned that this simple chair exercise, approved and recommended by many surgeons and therapists for good reason, can meet your body where it is and help carry it forward, one calm movement at a time. And I want you to understand something deeply important. The goal here is not perfection. The goal is progress that feels kind. Some days you may do more, some days less. Some days you may feel strong, other days tired or stiff. None of that means you're failing. It means you're human. What matters is that you keep showing up for yourself in a way that feels doable. Even a few minutes a day of this movement sends a powerful message to your body and brain that you are still capable, still adaptable, still in control of your health journey. Over time, that message becomes belief. And belief becomes confidence, and confidence changes how you move through the world. You stand a little taller, you hesitate a little less, you trust your legs again, and that trust is priceless because it gives you freedom. Freedom to move, to go places, to say yes to life instead of shrinking it down. And if you ever catch yourself thinking, is this really enough? I want you to remember this. The strongest bodies are not built through punishment. They are built through consistency, awareness, and respect. Surgeons know this. Physical therapists know this. And now you know it too. This chair exercise isn't small just because it looks simple. It's powerful because it targets what matters most after 60. Your ability to move safely, steadily, and confidently in everyday life. And before we say goodbye for today, I want to speak directly to you, not as a viewer, but as a person. You are not late. You are not behind. You have not missed your chance. No matter when you start, your body can respond. And every time you choose to move in a way that supports you instead of punishes you, you're investing in a better tomorrow. So here's what I'd love for you to do next. First, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because everything we share here is designed specifically for people like you who want to stay strong, mobile, and independent without fear or confusion. Second, try this chair exercise today, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. Don't overthink it. Sit down, place your feet flat, breathe, and move gently. Notice how your body feels during and after. And third, if this video helped you, if it gave you clarity, comfort, or hope, please like it and share it with someone you care about. You never know who might be silently struggling with pain, fear of falling, or frustration with walking, and this message could make a real difference in their life. Aging doesn't have to mean giving up strength. It doesn't have to mean living in fear of movement. With the right approach, it can be a time of wisdom, control, and confidence in your body. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for trusting me with your health journey. And thank you for taking a step, or in this case, a seat, toward a stronger, safer future. I'll see you in the next video.